drop the Republican stripe and get behind President Biden.
Richard Chew, weekday mornings at 6 on WCPT 820.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on the stark inequalities that drive poverty. The poorest communities in the U.S. and around the world are suffering the most. Oxfam believes we can put systems in place to protect health and livelihoods in the future if we work together with dignity and compassion. Learn how you can help offer safety to the most vulnerable and fight for a more resilient future at oxfamamerica.org. Sponsored by Oxfam America.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
The following program, Collaboraction Radio, is sponsored by Collaboraction, and to the extent applicable, their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of Heartland Signal, LLC, or its management.
Prince Rock is in the house today. Prince Rock is in the house today. Prince Rock is in the house today. Summertime Shy is in the house today.
In the house. More life. Talking about more life. With your stuff. More life. In the house.
Come on, Willie. Yes. Welcome to Collaboraction Radio here on WCPT 820 AM and perhaps on a podcast in the very near future. It's June 22nd, 2024. And it's the second day of summer. And it's episode 50 of Collaboraction Radio. And we got Collaboraction company member, rapper, writer, playwright, mentor, community activist. Did I say actor? And much more. Two-time Emmy Award winner. And just a great guy. Willie Round, also known as Prince Rock. Welcome to Collaboraction Radio.
Thank you for having me, Anthony Mosley.
Man, I tried to book you up for about 4 or 5 times for this show.
Oh man, shoot, you know how time be going, but I'm glad we got the chance to, finally get in here and make this happen.
This is the one. This is how it was meant to be.
I landed on 50, so that's lucky. That's lucky. So let's make this the best 50th show that we can have.
That we can have that. Yeah, it already is. There'll never be a better show than this one. There'll never be a better you than you. That's it. Yeah. Don't try to compare yourself to nobody else.
Oh.
There'll never be a better Collaboration Radio. And if you're listening to this right now, you're right where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Willie's life and how he got here today, right now.
Okay.
It's been quite interesting. And, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're still doing our new format. We're talking about KEDA, which is Collaboration's methodology of inspiring social change through inspiring new knowledge, empathy, dialogue, and action. But we thought, it's the second day of summer. We got a major artist here in the studio, and he's got an amazing single that's just... not the thing you're used to hearing, all you WCPT listeners. So we're going to just brighten your day, and Willie's going to share his single, Summertime Shy. So get ready to get loose and put a smile on your face.
So let's get into it.
More life.
It's the summertime, y'all. It's the summertime. It's the summertime, y'all. It's the summertime. Let me hear you say, more life.
More life.
More life. More life.
It's the summertime.
summertime, y'all.
Summertime shot, you know we poppin' out cup. We be outside, day and night. No, I can't help this feeling. Summer shot, don't give me summer.
We be outside, summertime shot. On the block of downtown, man, the whole city fly. We done waited all year for this feeling. Been pitching all fall, winter, spring for this healing. And since it's our time, we headed to the liquor store. Remy Hennessy, do say we need some more. Headed to the lakefront to catch us a breeze. Stop fuzzing, flaming hot meat. Extra on the nacho cheese. Headed to the block, shorty wanna holler. Group of bad kids asking where the dollars. Went to the crib to freshen up and then I'm back out. Mama stopped me in my tracks, but take the garbage out like, oh man. But I ain't even tripping, we ain't got plans. It's only 2 p.m. the day just began. Catch me riding down lake with my can, looking for the next move to get in, cause it's the summertime. Cause it's the summertime, y'all.
Summertime shot, you know we poppin' out cup. We be outside.
We be poppin' out, yeah, we be outside. We be poppin' out, yeah, we be outside.
No, I can't help this feeling that the summer shot don't give me summertime.
Cause it's the summertime shot.
Summertime shot, you know we poppin' out cup. We be outside. Day and night. No, I can't help this feeling that the summer shot don't give me summertime.
Catch me out west at the circle politicking with my comrades. Got a few dancers and they all bad. Or I'm up in Little Village with my Migo crew. Or chop the tequila with the lime, maybe a brew. Headed out south to 79th where they get loose. Ain't no fifis on the block, but summer nights are the truth. Just hit the line, say he fired up the grill. Hamburgers, hot dogs, sweet baby ribs. We hit the water park with the kids. Six Flags winning teddy bears like a kid. We put them all to bed cause summer nights we Shot-town stepping. Mama playing Al Green, Isley Brothers the legend. Shot City, summer nights on the porch talking about it all. Just me and my kin, a few of my dogs. Reminiscing on how we done seeing souls fall. If we had more days like this, might be no violence at all. Cause it's the summertime. Cause it's the summertime, y'all.
Summertime shot, you know we poppin' out. We be outside.
We be poppin' out, yeah, we be outside. We be poppin' out, yeah, we be outside.
No, I can't help this feeling.
Come on, Rock.
Summer shot don't give me summertime.
Oh yeah, live on WCPT.
Summertime shot, you know we poppin' out cup. We be outside. No, I can't help this feeling that the summer shot don't give me summertime.
Everybody out there enjoy the beautiful summer out there on Lake Michigan. You know,
this is what we froze for. This is what we froze for.
We waited all year for this feeling.
This is the summertime track right here. This is the single.
Summertime, shine, shine.
Summertime shot.
That's the beautiful Miette, by the way, who's singing that on the track. She was gracious enough to come to the studio and just do that track for me. She just learned the words and just like did it for me perfectly. So thank you, Miette, for doing that. She's a wonderful artist, R&B.
Oh wow, that was great, and nice editing by Paul. He gave you the single on the Facebook Live, so you had the screen going. Oh, that was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
If everybody's just still grooving, tell them where they can find your work and listen to more of your music.
I'm everywhere. Mud Life Rock. MUDLIFE all together. Rock is separate, so Mud Life Rock on all platforms, Instagram, music, Apple Music, all musical platforms. That's where you can find me. Mud Life Rock. Yep. Even music videos. So check all that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a great way to open the show. Thank you, Willie.
Man, that was beautiful, man. I love the way that song feels.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, and I had a real fun. Check out the video as well. It's a music video out to it. The main point of and the goal that we were going for was shooting the video because the song sounded and it felt just so good. We wanted to capture that. We wanted to capture the beauty of downtown Chicago. And at the time we shot the video, it was when a lot of that the young kids were going downtown, just like wrecking it all, and just not wrecking it, but they were wrecking it. They were doing their thing. They were being just outraged. So, and it was
we can't go downtown anymore. Downtown is messed up. It was this talk around the town of just like how messed up downtown is because the youth are down there expressing themselves, I guess, if you will. But it was beautiful. We got the show. We got a lot of comments, feedback from people saying how beautiful it was at the beginning of the video. I'm being picked up as like a panhandler with water by some girls, and they tell me to hop in the Jeep, and we just like cruise around the city, and then we downtown Buckingham Fountain showing the beautiful sights there. It's just beautiful Chicago feel. We want people to like, hey man, look at that video and like, I want to go downtown like right now. So,
you know, Mayor Johnson and the folks at the Office of Tourism, you know, I mean, Prince Rock is such a good ambassador for the city. You know, we really need to get this song pushed out on all platforms, and we can use all the help we can get. So you can also go follow him, Mud Life Rock, and all over the place.
Yeah, that's everywhere. All over the place. Prince Rock on Facebook.
Welcome to Collaboration Radio, everybody. That's how we opened it up. Wow, that felt good. Collaboration is a 27-year-old nonprofit. Our mission is to build knowledge, empathy, dialogue, and action. We call that KEDA, around oppression and inequity. And we do that through storytelling and theater and film and radio and just kind of belonging to one another in public, you know. We're sponsored by the Joseph and Bessie Foundation. I'm sorry, the Joseph and Bessie Feinberg Foundation. The Joseph and Bessie Feinberg Foundation. Today's episode of Collaboration Radio is also sponsored by AV Chicago, Chicago's leading provider of AV production, Ethos Collective, a purpose-driven destination and event management company, and donors and sponsors and friends like you. You can become a member of Collaboration for as little as $1 a month and get all kinds of benefits, including in person at our new space that we've announced at 1757 North Kimball Avenue in Humboldt Park.
Beautiful space.
We'll be building that shortly and hopefully opening it for y'all in the fall. You can also email radio@collaboration.org to inquire about ads or put a PSA on here. And go to collaboration.org to learn more. We have an upcoming event at Epiphany Center for the Arts. The Sandra Delgado Experience will be our next House of Belonging event. Buy your tickets by the 25th of June. And you can use... Oh, wait. Oh, that's not public. Oops. Email me at anthony@collaboration.org, and I'll give you a discount code. How about that? To buy those tickets by July 25th. And Sandra, company member, founding member, she's also the writer and the lead of a show called La Habana Madrid. Willie, did you see La Habana Madrid?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah. Chicago history. I mean, she was part of Chicago history.
Yeah, she's making, excavating Chicago history and becoming a part of it at the same time. Yeah. And she's one of those great artists of today who are really like going back and showing people like, you know, we kind of missed the story.
It's such an immersive show. I can remember when I was there and I was just, watching it. It took me back to, as a teenager, we used to sneak. I went to school in Little Village, which is a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, and made friends around the neighborhood, and we used to sneak in this bar that was there, and it was like just beautiful colors, beautiful music, Hispanic music. It was beautiful, and it literally put me like right there back in that place, and just like where I was, because it was just like something I never seen before. It was a huge culture shock. I'm more used to it now because you can find me partying now, but you know, on a basis. But man, that was the introduction to that. So like, I really appreciated that, how authentic it was to real life, and you know, just a feel good vibe of everything. So please go out and see La Habana Madrid. It's a beautiful show.
That's going to be
August talented out this world.
August 23rd at Millennium Park in the Pritzker Pavilion. That's a free show for everybody, and it's going to be a special event. Common's actually playing there. July 20th, maybe, so in about a month. That should be cool. They got some good stuff there. And okay, here we go. We're going to start digging into the jewel of a guy named Willie Round, Prince Rock. If you have a question for Willie, or if you want to share your thoughts and reflections on what he is sharing, you can call in at 773-763 9278. That's the jingle that Beverly wrote when I put her on the spot. Maybe I'll have you do a jingle later of the phone number. That's 773-763-WCPT. Call in and join us at any point. So Willie and I met by chance in front of La Follette Park.
Yep.
About what, 7, 8, 9 years ago now?
Man, it probably was about, it's
close to 10.
Yeah,
8,
it is
9.
close. I would say close to 10 years now.
And we made an impression on each other. I was like telling him about what we were doing. He was telling me what he was doing. And eventually, destiny brought us together. Yeah. And now we're just working on project after project together. We got a bunch of them.
We skipped a little bit, though, because this is more, from my version of how we met, it was much more magical. Didn't seem like it at first, but it was much more meaningful than that for me. It was like I was in not a dark space, but I wasn't feeling the best. And I was working as a photographer for the event, and I found out like right then and there, like I was the last one to be paid. Like I had this like scrap for my dollars and whatever, and that wasn't a good feeling, when you found out everybody, the DJ's been paid, this person's been paid, and I'm like, hey, the event I was about to end, and I ain't been paid. So anyway, I was going through that, and I was just sitting alone on the bench. I was like, after some done taking pictures, and here comes this jolly big guy come towards me just like, hey, man, I got a theater company, and you can do this, and we'd love you to tell your story, and we got the sketchbook. He talked about this thing called sketchbook, and even though I was in that bad mind frame or negative mind frame at the time, his energy uplifted mine, even when I was trying to reject it at the time, because I was just like so stuck in my ways and just wanted to stay mad at the situation I was dealing with. But for that one brief moment, him introducing himself to me, he liberated my life right there, just like, and telling me like, okay, and I didn't even act on it though. I didn't act on calling him, but I did go home and tell my girlfriend at the time that like I was excited about it. I was like, yo, I met this guy, he told me about this. I was like, forget the money or whatever, they paid me, but they paid me late. But I went home talking about that, like him coming up to me. I was like, man, I really want to act on this. I really wish I was gonna do it. I was like, I'm gonna do it, but then I lost the card. And I couldn't remember who he was. I didn't even think to look at because fast forward years later, I was looking through my after me and him reconnected, I was looking through my old photos, because I still got my old photos from when I was a photographer. And I came across him and his daughter just there at the same La Follette Park, just chilling. I'm like, oh my God, that was him, and things like that. So when I met Gary, which is a huge story, that's my guy that ushered me into this theater world, and brought me to Collaboraction.
So let's pause there. Let's pause there, and
because I could go into a whole other story with Gary.
But let's talk about the beginning. Let's talk about the beginning, and then we'll come back to Gary and talk about the post Gary world. And I just want to say that for all you folks out there, if you don't already do this, when you get a business card, just take a photo of it.
Yes, I've learned that the hard way.
Just do it.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing is, it doesn't matter how many business cards you give out if they don't call you. Yeah. So when people's like, let me get your card, I'm like, let me get your phone number, and I'll text you.
Yeah.
Like business cards are a trap in that way. Like, oh, here's my business card. How do I get hold of you when I gave you my business card and you didn't give me nothing? Because I'm the one who's kind of hustling.
Yeah, take that picture though.
Take the picture, and that's why of course, all the other socials. But so, what's your origin story? Well, the superhero guy over here. How did you become what you are?
I'm from Chicago, West Side, North Lawndale, 24th Ward. Shout out to North Lawndale, Holy City, a.k.a. That's where I'm from. Born and raised by a single mother on the west side of Chicago. Heard the story before, everyday struggles, not much. But we always had, my mom always, kept us in church and from that sparked a lot in me as far as musically. Also coming back from a background of my uncles on my father's side being musical rappers in the industry, do or die, multi-selling platinum artists. So I had that to look at as well for influence on diving into the arts. But it was a great, challenging life for me growing up on the west side of Chicago. But that's where I started from, man. And it made me. North Lawndale is a place that I will always advocate for just because it's home. So grateful that I'm over there at Theater Y now, but North Lawndale is where I'm born and raised from, and it made me as far as the everyday struggles that I had to go through there. Single mother, barely food on the table. She working hard, long nights. Just outside influences. Gang activity, drugs being sold on the block, all of that. But my mom was all strength. She was always. She had her own challenges that she faced, and had she not fixed her life, I wouldn't be sitting here today, So that's just a testament of the strength of my mother, and she's the reason why I'm here today. Yeah.
And then you played some basketball.
Yep, played basketball at Farragut. So when I came in Farragut, we 2006 to 2010 is when I graduated. Yes, and so I played for Farragut during that time where we was had Michael Dunnigan, the #1 center in the country, on our team, and we rock stars playing against my freshman year. We played against Derrick Rose. Only team to beat them. I didn't play much, but it was good to be a part of that team growing up, and then furtherly going out into Central State University, and ended up not playing there at all though, but got there through basketball.
You got a little perspective on Chicago out there.
Yeah.
Came back to the city in what year?
2014. So definitely a different perspective of Chicago though, because when I went off to college, it was a wake-up call for me because, going to school with different people from all over the world. And, I mean, some all over the world, some nationally. But, it was a big wake-up call because at the time, Chicago, it was during 2010 to 2014. So that was Obama's second term, and a lot going on with the murder rate in Chicago. So I was getting the outside opinions and on the outside looking in from where I'm from, and they had no clue. They were just going off of what they were seeing, the murders and us leading, beating Iraq and murders at the time. And they were just like, I just hated the way they talked about Chicago. It was like, Chicago, y'all can't even raise kids. And like, this was the insults. Like when we would talk about their city, like we just going there, Jordan beat y'all and this and they like, man, y'all can't raise kids. Y'all got kids out there dying every day. And like, once they hit that was different for me. I was like, it's like, man, that ain't all. Like the picture they were painting, it just didn't sit well with me. So my freshman year in college, that really lit a fire under me to always come back and try to advocate and be, a helping hand in my city to change the narrative. So that was the outside looking in experience I had while being in college, which was a good one though, because it helped me, determine what I wanted to do as far as helping out and volunteering throughout my city.
And then fast forward to today, and then we're going to go back to Gary. Mm-hmm. Your resume as of the last 8 years has got like a lifetime of work in it, and you've linked together different mediums, different companies, different scale. You were on the Trial of the Delta, the Murder of Emmett Till team as a co-writer with Gary Mills. We won 2 Emmy Awards for that. That piece is now on Peacock. And excavating the missing piece of the trial transcript of the state of Mississippi versus the men who killed Emmett Till.
Yes.
And you also, with Collaboration, you had a play called Broke Down Drone, which is the first scene of a full-length play called Mud Life. Broke Down Drone was at Peace Book, and then we took it to New York, and then we made it. You and Gary and Marquise and Max and a bunch of other collaborators turned that into a really wonderful film that won some awards. You worked at Looking Glass in Jana Colbrooks's play
Piranha Jane Byrne.
You then went over to Congo Square, where you were in
What's to Send Up When It All Goes Down.
And then you did Moonset Sunrise with Collaboration.
Peace and Healing.
And then you...
Oh, we need to do that again.
No, we do. We do.
Like, this summer needs it, man. Like,
I know.
Healing, like...
I know. And we need to do it, in community.
Yes.
We need to do it at Theater Y.
For sure.
So we will.
For sure.
And then also, you opened up for Lil Wayne, Gucci Mane. And you have a play that was also first done by Collaboration called Lift Every Voice. That got published by Dramatic Publishing. That's now been done many times all around the country. You open the show up with your song. You are building the feature-length version of Mud Life. So you got a lot going on. If you 10 years ago would have been listening to this radio show right now, you would be like, never could have happened, but I would love to be that guy one day. You're your own hero in a way, And you kind of went through a transformation.
Definitely.
You lost some weight. You grew your hair out.
75 pounds, man.
You grew your hair out. You got all ripped. It's amazing. You had a metamorphosis. And I do think meeting Gary Mills was a part of that. So tell us about meeting Gary and your relationship as and your history together as collaborators, and then we'll move on to more stuff.
Well, Gary is a person that I met when I was homeless, and he is just that person that leads by example, doesn't have to say much, and when he do say something, he's really powerful with it when he opens his mouth. But he's a great friend and person that just, like, the way he moves and the way he carries himself, it makes you question yourself almost if you hang around him 24/7, because his energy is just so gravitating and attractive. He really carries himself to a high standard, and it makes you want to carry yourself like that. But Gary introduced me to theater, and he met me, and him was volunteering. When was this? Probably like it was about close to 7 years ago. I think 2017. We were both volunteering down on the South Side for the Majesty All Stars, ran by J. Mal Green, and we both kept seeing each other throughout the time, but never really spoke to one another. Then one day, Gary came up to me and was like, "Hey, I saw your video on Facebook. It was really cool. Would you like to go to a Bulls game?" And it's like, of course, man. I had a Bulls jacket on. And he was like, "Man, do you like the Bulls?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let's go to a Bulls game." So when we went to the Bulls game, we talked about everything, man. I told him how, like, I always wanted to, it wasn't my first Bulls game, but it was the closest I ever been. And so I was telling him, like, man, how I've always wanted to manifest of sitting at the Bulls game. And he just gave me Bulls game tickets after Bulls game. He had season tickets, and we would always go and have these conversations of just life. And then it turned into, what do we want to do together to collaborate with our art? And we got together, and he asked could he shoot a music video for me down at the West Side, brought him there. And the studio was kind of like this. And if you go look at the Any Means video right now on YouTube, Prince Rock Any Means video, Gary produced that video. It was my first video with Passport Tracy, who's done videos for everybody who's anybody in Chicago as far as the rap scene goes. But yeah, Gary came down there, we shot the video. He walked into a room just like this, full of, guys, and he was like, "Man, it's a play that takes place like right here, and we should write it." And after that, I remember the first 2 days before we started writing, he just explained to me like how to develop characters, how to develop a storyline, how to keep your audience engaged.
And what were the things that he taught you that really, to this day?
Man, one thing that sticks to me and it helps me as far as writing a story is because I would write dialogue, right? Just write it how I talk and a whole bunch of extra stuff. And Gary gave me this one solid sound piece of advice that I still keep with me today, which is whenever a character speaks, they're moving the story forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that and what's another one? I mean, just anything that has involved with like the outlining of a play and things like that. I still use the same way that we structured it, and it's 1, 2, 3 ABC. He got a great way of making things seem like just.
Well, he went to the DePaul Theater School.
ABC 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean,
he learned it there.
Yeah. So top notch, man. I told him he's a acting playwright guru. You know, that's what I call him, my sensei. You know, in a way, because he just gave me that one-on-one and it stuck. You know, and now I'm writing my own projects and things like that. I'm writing a piece called, it's finished, but now I'm like doing a whole bunch of other drafts from people that gave me advice and stuff on it. It's called Lawndale King, and it takes place in 1967 when Martin Luther King came there for the Chicago Freedom Movement. It also is that whole thing where they rented out an apartment right in my neighborhood on 16th and Hamlin. And I walked past that building every day as a kid, and actually played basketball right next door to it at the BBR Center that Lawndale Christian owned. So, and they turned them old homes that he rented back in 1967 into monument homes now. So you can go see the old picture with him waving out the window.
There's like a museum, right?
Yeah, it's a museum at the bottom of it as well. They throw open mic nights there sometimes. But yeah, though, Lawndale King, I'm super excited about that because it's my first play that I actually wrote, without Gary. And even though I love my collaboration with Gary, but now I get to see what I can do on my own. And he loved it, and a couple more people made me feel confident about it. So I just can't wait. Right now I'm just trying to get a reading for it and things like that, and workshop it eventually. So it's great that all these things that I learned from Gary, and it's just taking those steps. He was a great model for that, and taught me a lifetime of just tools and things that I can use in the future. Yeah.
We all need people to help us and guide us when we're learning. Mentors are just really, really special. And you've had the chance to be a mentor as well.
Yeah, with the light, man. Yeah, shout out to Marcus
Jackson.
Yeah, Marcus Jackson was my mentee, and still keep in contact with him today. He's a great kid, still doing so well for himself, and was a student athlete, but was more incredible. I mean, I learned a lot from him, just as well as he was taking my advice. Great kid. The light was great. I mean, what we did, like 5 different performances that summer where we got together, and all of the kids. They were just they were all lights. In every single way, and just to watch every young artist grow, every show, every rehearsal, every meeting, they were just like growing right in front of our eyes, and now to see them even after the light is beautiful. Collaboration
redesigned our youth program in 2020 amidst the pandemic, and Willie was one of the first in year 1 of the program as we restarted a program focused intentionally on investing in Chicago young people as artivists.
Yes.
And we started with one-on-one mentoring, and now this year, under the leadership of Pinky Ring, we have 11 young people in the program.
Nice.
And we're also creating a secondary program for 18 to 25-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
So some of the young people will go into that program.
Wow.
And that's going to be called the Luminaries.
Ooh, okay.
So we'll be announcing who makes the Luminaries shortly, and we did a photo session today for the light.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see those.
Yeah, and I can't wait for you to meet them.
Yeah. When is they first?
July 11th they'll be performing at Navy Pier.
Perfect.
And then July 25th they will be at Austin Town Hall.
Oh, wow.
On the west side.
Nice.
And then they'll go to Loyola Park at the beach at Rogers Park where you performed last year.
Yeah, that was great.
And then they'll be at Hamilton Park in Englewood for their final show on July 27th. So you can come out and see these young people I'm talking about, and you can bring your family and your young people. And these shows are all free, and it's really important to see people doing what you want to do. And that's the cool thing that's happening with Willie is now people are seeing him chase his dreams, and actually many of them are coming true.
Yeah.
And that's not always as fun as you would think it is, though, is it?
Oh, no.
You know, it's funny sometimes, you know, people get jealous.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And it's just it's important to focus on your own life and where you're at.
Yeah.
And
I agree wholeheartedly. I'm reading this book called Subtle Art of I Don't Give a F. You know about that? You familiar? Yes. And it is. I'm like 3 chapters in, and it helps me to just center my mind, because it's about not giving a F about so much, to the point that you give a F about everything, and it creates these blockages in your mind, and you get unfocused on what actually do matter. Like, some things is cool to just care about, but when you actually give a F about it, it's like you're putting your all. It's taking up your time, and it's you invested way too much into it. And that's where I'm at in life, man. You guys got to center your mind and care about the things that care about you, the things that gravitate to you, hang around the people that make you feel good about yourself, and realize that you are enough as is. There's no need, even though I practiced it and I encourage people to pick up affirmations for their life, but there's no need to honestly get up every morning and look yourself in the mirror and say, I am this, I am that. Just be it. Just be it. That's the best way, is actually proving to yourself through actions that you can just be what you are. When I spoke at Central State, that was the whole premise of my speech. Was
you went back to Central State and you spoke at graduation? No,
at the so it was the convocation. It was the convocation. What's
the convocation? Is that the beginning of the year?
No, it was the induction of all of the. I'm sorry, it's the induction of the Hall of Famers. So all the alumni that were going into the Hall of Fame, I got to be the keynote speaker for that. Yeah, which is ironic though, because if you go back to my last year at Central State, because I was majoring in broadcast media, radio and television broadcasting, that was the last event that I covered before I graduated. And I remember sitting in the back and watching Earl T. Johnson. He passed away now. I found it out when I went back to speak. But I just remember, and you can go out on YouTube and see the video because it was a whole little reel that I created and put out when I was in college. But I remember sitting back there and like, man, I want to be able to finish. Like, even though I was at the end, I was like, man, I would love to come back and like speak there sometime. Like, these people seemed real important and they were really liberating. And Earl T. Johnson, his words stuck with me. He was like, coming to Central State, it was something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing he's like, coming to Central State is a great blessing, but the real gem of being at Central State and actually going and having that college experience was the relationships that he built up with people there that last lifelong. And Ohio is like a second home for me because of the people, not just because of Central State and my alma mater is there, but the people that I met there, I mean, I still keep in contact with today. They held me down while I was there and still holding me down as friends today. So yeah, I mean, Central State was able to go back and speak. Yeah, that was cool.
That's another kind of full circle moment for you.
Yeah.
Kind of like meeting me.
Oh, yeah.
Being here today and everything we've done, and, going there, watching the convocation and then being there as the keynote speaker.
Insane.
I mean, was that amazing?
Insane. It was insane. I mean,
and that speech is on your Instagram. I think?
It's on Instagram, but you also can check it out. The link is, I'll put it up on my Instagram, and it's on Facebook. I'll share it later and things like that. But yeah, you can check it out.
And you've had a number of moments like that, and now Collaboraction has a new campaign that we are working on. And we can't tell you who the client is, but it is a national series of videos that is really taking on some important subject matter.
Yes.
And you've come on board as one of the writers.
Yes.
And now we've cast you in the piece, and you're going to be playing basketball.
Yeah.
in the piece, so you might not have gotten all the playing time that you thought you were going to get at Central. But hey, man, we're gonna have a nice crane shot of you taking it to the hoop.
Oh man, dude, even to be a part of hanging out, and I mean, just going to playing basketball on camera, doing what I love, acting, writing, like. I remember the day I quit basketball I quit it at one point in high school to focus, because my school had a radio and television program, and that's why I picked up radio and television, my major. I remember quitting basketball for that. And basketball has always been my love. And I feel like because basketball got me to the school, because I went to like 5 different high schools to graduate. But when I got to Kelly had this radio and television program, and it swept my mind away. Like, I was just blown away about creating and editing videos, and I was a part of the newscast. I was so invested in that program, and I only went to Kelly 1 year, that they bumped me up to the advanced group just because I wouldn't go to any other class almost. Like, I was so infatuated with the media and creating and editing and coloring and things like that. It was creation. And so
you, we've talked about how you worked adapting the 400-page legal transcript of the court case against the murderers of Emmett Till.
Yeah.
You very carefully went through the witness transcripts of Mamie Till's testimony.
Yes.
Mamie Till Mobley. And you met Mamie Till as a young boy a long time ago. Yes. Speaking of another full circle moment.
Full circle moment.
So tell everybody about when you met Mamie Till the first time.
Yeah, so I was in probably 2nd grade, and we had this substitute teacher, and everybody for substitute teachers, you just like wild out. You like wild out, and that's what we were doing. We were just being disruptive, loud. We were just giving her hell, and like we knew we were giving her hell, and we didn't care. We just was like, this is what it is, lady. Like, you got to take it. And I remember Mr. Cockwell, who confirmed that it was her for me. Mr. Cockwell, he came upstairs to us and was like, "Do y'all know who mother that is? Like, y'all just made her cry. Like, do y'all know who mother that is?" And he goes, they was telling us, like, that was Emmett Till mother. Like, while y'all was doing all that. Like, y'all don't, we kids, we don't know nothing about Emmett Till and things like that. And even throughout my time in high school in Chicago, I didn't really know about Emmett Till like that. I found out about him and really dove deep to the story when I reached my college studies, and I was alone in my dorm room, and came across a video about Emmett Till, and I just started watching a whole bunch of documentaries and things that was out there about him, and reading things about him. And so fast forward years later, get a call from Anthony Mosley saying that NBC wants us to adapt transcripts, me and Gary, 387 pages of transcript, hidden transcripts of the Emmett Till trial back in 1955. And it was almost like, I mean, the story itself was a journey, but I remember having to get up at times and just like leave. And I don't think up until the time I read the transcripts that I even still knew the power of Mamie, the courage of her, the genius of her. And I was like, after we won the Emmys and things like that, that was a plus. But man, I look at it now, even after all the, that, it's like, what a great way to repay her. You know what I'm saying?
So let's take a moment.
At least say I'm sorry.
Hey, so she's listening. And I know that she forgives the little boy in the class, but what do you want to say to Mamie Till if you could talk to her?
I'll say thank you for your courage, your willingness to push the needle forward and be different, and to put that picture out there. Thank you for being kind to us, because she still was like, came up there afterwards, and I remember her coming, like, I remember an old woman coming up to us and telling us, like, that it's okay. Like, I understood what y'all was going through because they came and chewed us up. But I would tell her that, thank you for everything. Thank you for pushing the needle forward on the civil rights movement, being the big kaboom of it all, you know. And because without her strength and her willingness to make everybody her business after her son's demise, that is the reason why we still here today, as strong as we are, still fighting for civil rights today, you know, and gotten as far as we are. So I just want to say thank you and just a whole bunch of gratitude, and yeah, just wish I could hug her for real. Yeah.
So let's get into we've done the knowledge, empathy, and dialogue stuff. Let's talk about action. People that are listening right now, what do you want to share with them about making change, being part of change?
So the school I went to, Central State University, the slogan is and still is, change is central, right? And Mud Life birthed from that. Motivate the urban to be determined. It's a lifestyle. That's what Mud Life stands for. And how you motivate the urban to be determined, or just be determined and be motivated. How you do that is you adapt and be willing to change by any means necessary in your life. Don't be afraid of change. It's going to happen. It's nothing you can do about it. You just have to flow with life. What did Bruce Lee say? Be water.
Yes.
Right? If water goes into a cup, it becomes the cup. If water goes into a hat, you could fill a hat up and it becomes the hat. So in order for us to eliminate these blockages that we create in our life, you have to be willing, because only time we create blockages in our life is when the universe is telling us to change and you don't. And that creates those blockages that have your mind clogged up, make you think too much, even go so far as, you know, start abusing yourself in many other ways and self-inflicting yourself and just creating that self-sabotaging spirit that you just want to stay clear of. So with change is everything. Embrace it, love it, but most importantly, just be. So that's my whole take on just what I would tell people about change. Just be, let it happen. Don't force, don't resist.
Yeah,
the change.
You know, we are gifted with these these very brilliant, complicated minds.
Yes. And
sometimes we use them a little too much.
Yes.
And, you know, the heart and the stomach also send signals to the brain.
Yeah.
And we need to learn to listen to our heart and our stomach, especially in times of trying to think ourselves to through a situation.
Yeah.
Intuition, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, that's like one of my favorite all that Bruce Lee stuff. I've held it very closely. My dad and I used to watch Bruce Lee movies when I was, you know, little. Yeah. And my dad actually saw Bruce Lee in an exhibition. My dad was a third-degree brown belt.
Oh, wow.
And he was going to the University of Oklahoma. I think this was after he was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And he drove to Texas to see Bruce Lee in an exhibit.
Wow.
And he said, he always told me this story, that Bruce Lee was blindfolded.
Wow.
And my dad was like one of 60 people in a circle in a dojo, you know? Yeah. And he put his fingers in red ink and he fought the guy blindfolded. And after 3 minutes, they stopped. And the guy had a perfect circle around his face from where Bruce Lee had touched his face while they were fighting blindfolded.
Oh man, whoa! That dude fought him blindfolded.
Yeah, and the guy didn't get anywhere near Bruce Lee. I mean, everything he did was countered. It was
I
like
would not want to run.
He
into
was
him.
so quick, and he could feel and hear it, and he just would block and counter. And by the end, this guy had a red circle around his face that was like.
So I should have took a picture of that and put it in a museum or something. Like, that was insane.
An immersive Bruce Lee experience would be a great idea. Yeah. And I would love to see Bruce Lee at the Sphere in Las Vegas. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. So there might be some young people that can identify with your story. Sitting there right now, like listening, or in the future on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I mean, I already asked you about action, but what do you want to say to those amazing people?
To the young people, take your time. I know we live in a world of social media and instant gratification. It's just like, take your time. You are enough, young person. Like, don't put too much weight on your shoulders. Especially, young people growing up in poverty, because I know how it could feel when you want to just, especially the young males. I'll speak to the young males first. We all grew up wanted to take care of our families and be the breadwinner and take care of everybody. But don't take care of you first. Worry about you, and everything else will follow. Always remember, young people, money follows passion. Please remember that. Don't be so quick to just chase a dollar. Actually find out what it is that you want to do in life and go for your money that way. It'll be more meaningful. It'll be more heartfelt for you. It'll bring more motivation to you. And just have fun, have fun. Most importantly, just like have fun doing what you do, because you don't want to have to undo your life because you decided to act on something that you want right now. So just be patient, figure out what it is that you want to do, and go for it. And remember that money follow passion. Yeah.
What do you want people to know about the community you came up in? About Holy City.
Holy City, North Lawndale, 24th Ward, stand up. Man, Holy City is a great place. Like, really great place. Shout out to George's Music Room. George's Music Room, which you can find one now in in O'Hare Airport. But George's Music Room was, like, first of all, North Lawndale is a very musical community. We love music. We love the dance. We love the block parties. Back in the day when they were like safe, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, everybody knew everybody. That has kind of like been disconnected now. But shout out to George's Music Room, because I could just remember that it was the hub for the barbecues. It was the hub for the music experiences. I mean, mainstream artists used to come down to this mom and pop store. That's how I ended up being in Lil Bow Wow's video, like, because of George's Music Room. He came to our school and shot the thank you video, but it was these celebrities that used to always come through this mom and pop store. You could be walking past it and freaking Jay-Z was sitting in there, or Aaliyah was sitting in there, things like that, and had concerts in our neighborhood. And so North Lawndale, even though, we have our challenges, it's so much history there. Martin Luther King stayed there. Like I said, in 1967, came here for the, Chicago Freedom Movement with Al Raby and those boys. We have so much history, because North Lawndale used to be a Jewish community, a Russian Jewish community. And their monuments still stay there. We went through a whole transition of when black people went in and white people flighted, and eventually, our homes were not up to par like they should have been, and that what brought Martin Luther King them here to correct the housing situation in Chicago, starting in North Lawndale. So you got that. If I tell people all the time, if you get good heat and good lights in your building from your landlord and don't have much complaints about, and you're black, you better thank Martin Luther King and North Lawndale for starting that, because they created a whole tenant unit in North Lawndale and they put the pressure on the landlords that it was a one landlord that owned 37 properties in the neighborhood, and they put the pressure on that one landlord and told everybody to hold their rent. That started in North Lawndale and across the west side, so we got so much history in North Lawndale and so much beauty about it, hidden beauty about it, that has been forgotten about it, and we just have to find our way back. I mean, I believe that right now in the pandemic was a testament to our resilience, doing the documentary for Collaboration.
That's right. This is North Lawndale. Check it out on Collaboraction's YouTube. You can watch that video Willie made about North Lawndale. It was very informational for me, and we got so much good content on YouTube. People should subscribe. But this is episode 50, man. That went fast, didn't it?
Man, that was fast. But yeah, man, this was great.
Maybe we'll have you back on for 100.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, hey, I can come guest host or something. Anytime. Man.
Next week we have Pinky Ring and Linda Soul, the lead teaching artists of The Light, and they're bringing the youth into the studio.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be here. I'm actually going to be on a little summer road trip.
Okay.
I'm going to Nashville and Asheville. So Henry, you're going to have a bunch of young people in here, and you might remember Pinky Ring. She threw down. So that's going to be an amazing show with lots of great energy and insights. And have a great day, y'all.
Yeah.
You only get one June 22nd. 2024, so make it count.
Yeah.
Willie Round, Prince Rock, Mud Life.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too. Each other's business, man. We each other's business.
We're just getting started.
That's right. Love it. Thank you. Peace.
Hey, you want to freestyle over the track a little bit on our way out of here?
Well, we just finished the show and we gotta go, but it's cool. We gonna do it how we do. We ain't breaking no rules. And I'm with Anthony and my boy over there. We gotta do it. He got the nice hair. We gonna do what we came here to do. Collaboration. Don't be a fool. If you ain't collaborating with the next dude, what are you really doing? You was a dang fool. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. I feel good. Thank you.
The preceding program, Collaboration Radio, was sponsored by Collaboration, and to the extent applicable, their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily